you want to attend the next ARG regional event? Make sure you pre-register online at dragonballsuper-regionals.com. The next event is scheduled for the weekend of April 14th and 15th in beautiful San Jose, California. Need a place to stay for the event? Head over to super-collectibles.com and buy a ticket to the KitchenTableMeta Team House. For only $300, you get a private room for Friday and Saturday night, one-on-one coaching, dinner with the pro team, and much, much more.
Okay, here we go, guys. So round number 6 at the ARG Presents Dragon Ball Super Regional here in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. Super excited to be here. We have two awesome players here. We yet again two kind of unique decks. I mean, androids. Samuel Jenkins on the right, 4-1 with the androids, the red player. Again, awesome deck. We'd love to see it. Also on the left, we have Garrison Bratton, which you guys might know him as Spoofer Proofing from the Discord and stream. Again, great guy, fantastic player as well, being 4-1 here with Mecha Frieza hand destruction. Actually, me and him were talking before the rounds, or actually like on Discord. He asked me what I think he should play this week, and this is the deck I suggested to him. I actually sent him the deck list. It's a deck list that one of our teammates, Jordan Markle, made. And I told him, I was like, here, this is the deck I would play. I think it's very fantastic in the current meta, and this is what he's playing, going 4-1. Again, just a great guy, he's been supporting me since the start, so just a great guy. All right, guys, so turn 1, so go get a Broly to get, it looks like another Broly. So it's going to be fantastic here. Passes the turn back to Samuel. Can you do me a favor real quick? Can you have them, like, so the white life is okay, but can you have them move the blue life, like switch this real quick? Does that make sense? Yeah. Want me to do it in the middle of the game? Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. Yeah, we're sending George over to fix it. Ooh, Garrison doing a good job here, actually going to negate the TN to stop his opponent from awakening. Very important when playing hand destruction. Not something that we talked about a whole lot, which is my fault, actually, about this matchup. There we go. Fixing life for you guys. Okay, anyway, it's very important for your opponent not to awaken, because as hand destruction, your goal is to eliminate your opponent's hand. Thank you, perfect. Your goal as hand destruction is to eliminate your opponent's hand, and by doing so, it allows you to do really cool things. Hand destruction opens up the ability to play Cells Absorption, which is a 4-cost green card, which I'll actually just pull up the stream. We'll talk a little bit about it.
Cell Absorption, actually one of my favorite cards. Only 4 energy, but in Mecha Frieza, obviously 3, or if you're flipped, even 2 energy. So
right, exactly.
Fantastic card. Extra deck. It's an extra card. That's the only downside. Can't combo with it. Can't do much else, but just cast it.
Yeah, it's just such a fantastic card. Love it so much. And Mecha Frieza, like you were saying, it takes advantage of it so well. And you can put your opponent in situations where you're like, turn 3, discard 2 off Cell Absorption. Next turn, Cells Absorption again. Next turn, Broly combo, discard 2. And before you know it, your opponent has no cards in hand. And then what you want to do once you get your opponent to a situation where he has little to no cards in hand, then you start attacking him with like double strikers. You'll put 2 cards in their hand and then discard 2 cards out of their hand. And it puts them in a situation where they can't survive the attacks. So the important part of the deck, of the game plan for Cell hand destruction. Garrison with another Broly on field. Interesting.
My Goku Black.
What, did you check in here?
Hopefully it's in there. That was my fault for leaving it. Oh, Broly. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Broly's actually really good in this deck, actually, because you can cheat out energy, you can objection early as normal, so. I don't know if he is playing. Oh, yeah, he is playing objection. Okay.
Yeah, Garrison, I expected him to have the 3-drop promo Broly or something, because he actually cold ballasted the TN, so I figured he'd have a way to actually kill it this turn in order to take advantage of the cold ballast. But maybe he just wanted to use it to awaken. I mean, honestly, Androids doesn't have that many good cold ballast targets other than Cell, obviously. Other than that, everything else is pretty dead as far as the cold ballast goes.
Yeah. Yeah, in this matchup, it's actually okay just to charge like 1 Cold Bloodlust, but I wouldn't charge more than 1.
Right.
You can use it to not like take an energy if you're at like 4 energy and then they cell combo you by that time. Or sorry, 4 life. If you're at 4 life and they try to cell combo you by that time, at least you can just use the yellow from the Cold Bloodlust to activate that and not take a life and go down to 3, because 3's normally like you don't want to get there without it being necessary, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, Garrison going up to 10K here on the Sensu.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think he just did that so he can go to 4 life.
Oh.
Yeah, and
okay.
then now he's going to use that
right.
to awaken.
It's much better than attacking with the Frieza here.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Now you can actually play, if you want to, you can play Cell's Absorption here for 1 or for 2 and discard. It's like he's taking his time. Now, what's really cool about knocking his opponent to 7 life here is it makes his TN awakening awkward. So if he wants to awaken next turn for TN, he has to go to 5 life instead of 6, which does matter.
Good sequence of plays here by Garrison. You do want to attack before you play anything like a Boo or anything like that. You just want to see what you're dealing with first before you go and like preemptively play a Boo and then like attack, and then you're like, oh man, I drew this 3-mana Gotenks that I really wanted to play that I drew off the... Is he just throwing a 5?
Yeah, interesting. I wonder why he's doing that. Just may get an extra card out of his hand for some reason, but I don't know why. Actually going up again. Really
Snap take.
Yeah. Instantly take this card. Yeah.
I've never taken a card so fast in my life.
Yeah. I almost ran over there and just took the card for him. That's how.
Man, I'm so sad I lost my Goku.
Interesting that he has a way. Oh, I see what he did. He threw those cards away so he could activate Mass Saiyan.
Okay.
Okay, that makes a little more sense now. I get it, Garrison. Just protecting those Brolys. I like it. Brolys are a very important part of this matchup. Again, Android's pretty tough matchup in general for hand destruction, but not too bad until you get into the sideboard. Once you get into the sideboard, it gets scary. They can sideboard into the 5-drop Android 17 that draws up to 4 cards in hand. That card could really be a pain. Now, luckily, Garrison's playing Mecha Frieza, so you have Cold Bloodlust. Very important part of the card. Again, Samuel taking his time here, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do for his turn. All right, going to draw a card here off of the Android attack. Play out Goten to kill one of the Brolys. So he's going 15 into 1. It kills the other one with Goten. Garrison going to either have to find a way to protect this Broly or let it die. Letting it die, not the biggest deal for Garrison. He does have a Cell's Absorption in hand, which is important, so he will be able to still destroy Samuel's hand a little bit. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, the thing about losing the Broly is he's already gone through 1 Broly already. So you normally want to have a baby Broly on board so that you can at any time just evolve into the 6 mana.
I know. I tell my hand destruction, I guess, students, because again, Garrison's one of my coaching people coach. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Actually, which is actually really funny story. I didn't know that was him. I've actually never met him in person before, so it was actually pretty funny how that worked out. Yeah, so I tell them all the time, don't play out your Brolys until you're going to evolve on that turn, because you open up too many situations where they can kill them. There's very few matchups where you can play them out, and I think Androids, Garrison thought maybe Androids was one of them. Most Androids don't play Gotens anymore.
No, they don't.
So maybe he was just trying to get a little bit of advantage from there, but again, I hate playing out my Brolys early and getting them killed like that, because it can put you really far behind in hand destruction. They are very important.
The androids with red are the ones that you'll see most likely playing any iteration of Gotens, because it's searchable off the Mighty Mask. So if they play red, they're normally playing the same Kaba Mighty Mask package. So you'll be able to see a lot more searching, and usually they just play it for the flexibility of, oh, it's either an energy in bad matchups or it's, usable in other matchups.
Right.
So So Garrison here, I'm not sure if you actually just cast the cell absorption here. I feel like it's not as good anymore. So you see a Ready to Strike Piccolo come down, which is actually pretty good against androids.
Yeah, I like the card a lot. It's a blocker in the worst case situation. Good case situation, you get a lot of cards out of your opponent's hand, which is really good. Again, Samuel does have goats in his hand. We see that as the first card there in his hand. So he does have an answer to this Piccolo, unfortunately for Garrison. But with him just using the goats in, it's possible he didn't. So good try by Garrison, but I think Samuel's going to be able to use this card and get out of the situation that Piccolo would have normally put him in.
Now, Garrison keeping up a Cold Bloodlust, which is pretty relevant here. I'm not sure why Samuel is just throwing his cell into it, but if Garrison has a Cold Bloodlust, he would have to do it, a little bit long ago.
Garrison decided to Cold Bloodlust on the Absorb trigger.
Okay.
This means that Samuel could do one of two things. He could choose to fail a search off the 5-drop, and then go ahead and just do it again. So he can remember this is considered a special summon, so the Cold Bloodlust actually is affecting the 5-drop.
Yes.
But the 5-drop still gets its come into play effect. So we'll see what happens here. What Samuel decides to do. This puts Samuel in a kind of a weird situation. It looks like Samuel might be talking to the judge about what exactly how this works. But yeah, so Samuel can either fail to search and not get the 5-drop at all. So he'll just say, I couldn't find one. So now he gets it. Again, remember, this 5-drop gets its effect, but then is Cold Bloodlusted. So it won't have Union Absorb. It can't go any higher. So you can kill the Piccolo with this, draw a card off of this, and then it's a dead card. It's just a Blanco 20,000 attacker. Hang on, it looks like they're not killing it, though. Hang on for a second. Let's let me go. I'm gonna go ask them about this.
Dusty exercising his sea legs. Gonna go see what's going on at the stream table right now. Just double check that everything is going correctly on this match. From what I know, I believe he should have just bloodlusted the cell on summon. It does not allow the 17 to go under it, but it puts you in a position where Garrison would just have to have the out to the cell. If he doesn't have the out to the 3-drop cell, then it's perfectly fine. Samuel just goes next turn and does the 17 play. And I think Garrison might have waited too long on that Cold Bloodlust for the Union Absorb. And Dusty's back.
No, I got now. I was just like, I misunderstood when he used it. That's what happened. Yeah. Okay, my bad, guys. I messed up. I was making sure. I wasn't sure. I actually I thought they used it on. I thought he used it on the resolution of Union Absorb, but he didn't. So how it works is the 3-drop comes out. You have that, and then on the Union Absorb you get a trigger, and he used it on the Union Absorb trigger or whatever, not the resolution of it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, it actually does get blanked when it comes to the play. So I misunderstood when the timing that he used it
so
was.
So it still gets blanked, but you have the option of bringing out the 5-drop in this situation,
right?
Instead of just doing it on the summon of the 3-drop.
Right. And so essentially what I mean is, so you have there's two situations. So he can go, I'm going to Union Absorb, and then when he does, you can go, okay, I'm going to Cold Bloodlust that, and whenever he does that, you can search your deck for nothing. So you can say, because cell specifically says search up to 0, up to 1 cell. So you can just go, I'm going to search nothing. And so the nothing gets Cold Bloodlusted, not the cell, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And so whenever the nothing gets Cold Bloodlusted, then Garrison can just go, okay, I'm going to put another
17. But he would have to have another 17 back.
Right. Now, if that happens, though, you go get the 5-drop, it does get blanked when it comes into play. Yes. And so that's actually what happened with Garrison. He just said it. Samuel just said, okay, it's fine. It gets Cold Bloodlust. I don't care, and went and got it. But if Samuel goes, okay, I'm going to let you Cold Bloodlust, and then Cold Bloodlust, whenever the 5-drop actually comes into play, then it actually is blanked, but it still gets its come into play effect. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it's like I thought he used it on the ladder because he actually went and got a 5-drop, but I misunderstood the situation, so that's my fault.
So you were thinking like the whole Cold Bloodlust on the 3-drop, you can't even have the option of bringing out the 5.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But he let it go through, and that's where I messed up.
So that was the small change that the
rules
change. Yeah. On the Cold Bloodlust.
Yeah, so that's my mistake.
Well, now that everybody's watching, they finally got an actual real-life video example of how this card actually works. So, fantastic. Answers a lot of people's questions. I know that there's still people to this day that are still confused about it. It's a little bit poorly worded, honestly.
Right.
But you saw it all in action now, guys, so now you know. The more you know.
Garrison still with 2 self-absorption in hand. That's 4 cards he can nag from his opponent, which is just unbelievable.
So Samuel actually playing the red package that we haven't seen till turn 5 of this game.
All right, here it comes.
It's crazy. Okay, Samuel's going to get out of this awkward position of being at 5 life. And that Cobb is going to come in and threaten some lethal damage to Garrison's 2 life.
2 to 5. Here we go. Samuel going to go to 4.
Steroid
off his effects. So
mode activated.
Yep, this has 15,000 double striker now.
And all his creatures are now, all his androids are now bigger. 5,000 more attack points, along with his leader now bumping up to 15.
Garrison making a weird play here. His hand seems pretty extra card heavy.
Yes.
And he has like a negate to stop it and a Cold Bloodlust to stop that, and he let it go through completely. He said no negates and no Cold Bloodlust, obviously, and now I'm not sure if he can live this attack.
He might not be able to.
He has literally all extra cards in hand, right?
Oh, he has Sense Beam.
Yeah, but that's not enough, right? I think he has a 5-drop
Depends
cell
on
in
what
hand.
if he gets what he gets out of his hand. To be honest,
6-drop cell.
Oh, okay. I thought he was playing the Sense Beam from life. Okay, he's good. But he's got to be very careful. That could have, if Samuel just threw a few more.
Yeah,
cards,
if I'm Samuel, I'm smelling blood right now.
Yeah.
I think he does have a chomp in hand though. The Samuel does, right? No, there's the negate. Okay. Samuel could actually play the 3-drop sellout right now and go for double strike here. Of course, Garrison will probably lust that situation.
No, yeah, Chad is completely right. If you do have a lethal attack like that and you have like 4 energy up, you're definitely going all in. I think.
You think so?
Yeah. I would have gone all in on that chop up because you're playing Mecha, so you have to assume that they have some iteration of number of extra cards.
Of extra cards. Yep. Yeah.
So sometimes
actually,
that
honestly,
plays into the math. Only in the Mecha Frieza match.
Right.
You know, like in any other matchup, you'd be like, nope.
I honestly feel like that's one of the reasons why Mecha has fallen in popularity a little bit. I think players have learned that weakness of Mecha.
Yeah.
You know, that like
the extra
their
card
hand isn't as
conundrum.
right. Yeah, their hand isn't as scary as what you think it is. Right. There's always a couple awkward cards in that hand. In that situation, literally, I think if Samuel would up 5,000 more, he would have won.
Yep.
Like that's scary. All right, Garrison trying to figure out how to get out of this situation here. It shouldn't be too difficult. Does have Cold Bloodlust in hand, I think, and also maybe one more negate in hand. And that should be pretty good. He can get a couple cards out of his opponent's hand possibly here, and then try to clear this board up, though. The problem is, I think Garrison can live. I don't know how Garrison wins, though. That's my issue here. Draw. Does have a 6-drop Broly in hand and drew a 1-drop Broly. That's actually a pretty good rip off the top there for Garrison. Might be able to get him back into this game. There he comes. Problem though, Garrison only having 3 green. Oh, that's a reveal.
You need a lot more green for these Brolys to
I need one more. Yeah, I need one more green to even play the 6-drop completely.
Three,
right?
yeah.
No,
Triple
quad
green.
for quad green.
Quad
yeah.
for the hard summon 3 on the evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think hand destruction is very good against androids because they get so many cards in hand. Like, it's just like those self-absorption. You didn't see, has he resolved one at all?
No,
I don't think so,
but
right?
yeah, but I think that's the thing. I actually think hand destruction is pretty good against androids
You think so?
the first game,
Okay.
until they sideboard into the 5-drop. The 5-drop 17.
just means insane.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like kind of hard to win. The 5-drop 17 that draws you back up to 4. That card's like just really good against hand destruction.
Because Mighty Mass gets you an extra card. Like,
Right.
a lot of the androids you just don't like. Whatever, I cannot cell chain you. You're not excited about cell chaining against Mecha Frieza anyways. So I feel like you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna go a totally different route and just beat your face because you have so little board control. You give up the board control for all these extra cards,
Yeah.
and now androids just takes it to the ground and beats your face, and then you're just like, all right.
Yeah, but I think the big problem Garrison's done here, though, is he hasn't done I'm not gonna say he hasn't done anything, but his hand destruction plan just hasn't happened at all. Like, I mean, has he discarded a card from Samuel? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Right, and so like that's the thing. Like, as a hand destruction deck, you do actually have to discard cards. So, I think one of the big reasons that's happened is, he lost his 2 Broly's. He was greedy with his Broly's. He lost those. That put him behind. He used a lot of, I'm not going to say insignificant cards, but he used a lot of cards early to awaken without actually, to me, as hand destruction Frieza, you have to play a little bit different.
Yeah.
And you don't want to early awaken. You want
Exactly.
to use your awaken off
Before it used to be like that. It was just like,
Right.
knock him, knock
Right,
it up, direction, done. You know?
In this
But it's
matchup,
evolved.
right? Yeah, in Mecha Frieza, you don't want to do that. You just want, hand destruction, you don't want to do that. You want to use like your Cells Absorption Awaken, and then if you have to, at the end, use like maybe a Sensu Bean on your opponent's turn or a counter on your opponent's turn or something to awaken to finalize it. You don't want to just like go out the first or second turn because then you limit your hand destruction ability.
Self-absorption becomes significantly worse after you awaken.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
You really don't want to go from 4 to 3. I mean, like, if you do it, it's going from 4 to 3, and you don't even feel excited unless your opponent has 2 cards in hand, super behind. You're like, F it, I'm just going to go for it. But here, like, self-absorption as the game goes on, it just, it can come back into play, but Android's is never going to have a low hand size. Like, you're just going to have cards and cards and cards, and everything almost nets you a card in this deck. And you're going to see, perfect example, Dr. Giro here, Android 19, searching you a Chilling Terror, and that can be used for anything, even if he does decide to resolve some type of hand destruction effect.
Yeah, and here's a good example of what we talked about before,
Yep.
where
The second 17, and they're just clarifying with the judge now to see if that actually works like that.
it does.
And just how we mentioned earlier in the game, that's what Samuel Jenkins is doing, bringing out that stage 2 cell, and
Garrison's
looks
like,
like
I
Garrison's
can't be
scooping
that.
it up. Yep.
Yeah, again, Garrison should have cold ball us at the 3-drop.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That way you don't have to worry about it. He instead he tried to be a little greedy and cold ball us the 5-drop, and Samuel just had two 17s. I actually searched out the second 17 and got there. You know what I mean? So again, another reason why the cold ball us ruling has made cold ball us just a little worse. Still very good.
Still good.
Still very good, but yeah, very good. Absolutely, that's why you lost the 3-drop. This is awkward when Dusty doesn't know the new rules. I know the new rules. I just didn't understand when he cold ballisted. That's one of the problems of not having audio on our players or judges. Sometimes we have to kind of guess off gestures when it happens, unfortunately. And so I thought that Garrison cold ballisted like what happened there. I thought he did it off the resolution. Because in my mind, if he cold ballisted at the beginning, why did Samuel go get a 5-drop? Right? Samuel should just be like, I'm not going to get a 5-drop. It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So when he went and got that 5-drop, I just assumed, poorly, I may add, that he cold ballisted the 5-drop coming into play. Because, again.
Well, that's good that you did, because it did clear up a lot of questions in people's minds, and then we actually got the clarification on everything and how it worked and where you want to do it, and it definitely looks like chat got the idea there.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad.
Because you can see what happens when you don't.
Right, exactly. You don't, and again, that's I'm going to search for nothing throws a lot of players off. So yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking through chat here, see if you guys have any more questions with this Cold Bloodlust ruling. I want because it's a little confusing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
just a little bit.
I think seeing it visually like that though, like is like
That's
you said,
fantastic,
is a
yeah.
great.
You should just make that into a clip and just put it on YouTube.
Yeah, probably. If he Cold Bloodlusts the Spider-Verse, if he Cold Bloodlusts the Union, then searches nothing, then Union absorbs again and puts another 17 under it. Would the 5-drop still get Union in auto? Yes. Because essentially, off this, it's a good question, Spider. Let me try to figure it out. So, like, if you Bloodlust the Union absorb, you're Bloodlusting the card that's coming in. And so, if you search, like, if you say, okay, I didn't find a cell, then you've essentially Cold Bloodlusted nothing. You Cold Bloodlusted like an invisible 5-drop that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Now, if he does complete a search and go get the 5-drop and put it into play, then it is Cold Bloodlust.
Yeah.
However, if you wait for him, if he goes to, I'm going to use Union Force, and he goes, okay, and he goes through and gets the 5-drop and puts it into play, and you go, okay, now I'm Cold Bloodlusting that 5-drop when it comes into play, then it's blanked, but it gets its come into play effect.
Yes.
So that's
because it's already came into
right. And so whenever I saw the card come into play, I just assumed that's what was happening.
Yeah.
So that's my fault again for assuming. I apologize. How is Peter doing?
The last time I heard, he was X1, losing to Hand Destruction, and Hand Destruction is just a tough card, especially when you're a combo deck, kind of like what Peter is. And using all these cards to like get to this end result, and now you have to like pitch them because your opponent's playing a card that, warrants that. So you can see how Hand Destruction plays a role against all these combo decks, especially against Starter Goku too. But Android's just because of that ability to flip earlier, you're inherently getting more cards earlier, and the Hand Destruction effect is just like a little bit more wavered off.
Right.
So that's why if I was Garrison here, I'd side out a little bit of that package and just side in some more Sun Gotens if you have access to them for sure.
It's actually something that can happen in this matchup as well. Let me actually switch over here to Caster Desk real quick, guys. Sorry, I just want to fix the overlay real quick for you guys, so it's not so janky looking. It's my fault.
You still have the light from before.
Yeah, I want to get the. I want to talk about the Cold Bloodlust situation. I kind of.
Just got lost in translation.
Yeah, I got lost in my explanation there. Yeah, sorry I messed that up, guys. I apologize. Again. I know it's a tricky ruling, and obviously, I know these players know what they're doing, or they wouldn't be 4-1 right now. But I just want to make sure that that's not what happened, because again, it can be confusing. And the last thing I want to happen is something like that happen on stream. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
Alrighty, here we go, guys. Getting right into game 2. Players putting their life down. Here we go. King Raptor 22. So if the new leaders in set 3, none of them have the awaken at 6 life effect. Yeah, actually, one of them don't. Like, usually the way it works is one of them don't, one of them do out of the 2 leaders. For example, the Mass Sand and the Black starter deck, he does draw 2 life when he awakens. He's a new leader. Also, the I think does the new Doctor card draw 2 cards? I can't remember. But some of them do, some of them don't. But I think the majority of them don't, but some of them do.
I like how they just introduced like the new mechanic, like tapping energy when you flip, because there's so many leaders now that are just so dependent on that whole like cheating energy in a play, and you've seen a lot of them have a lot of success because they have the cheating into cheating energy into play.
Yeah,
and that might come into play. Unfortunately, it's only on the flip. So it's not something that you're going to look forward to every single turn and build your whole deck around, like Starter Goku and Golden Frieza and stuff.
Absolutely.
But it might lead to some much more explosive plays, especially the turn that you get awakened, and now you're not going to be really awakening on your opponent's turn. You're just going to be waiting on your turn. So it might be a little bit worse.
Garrison making another mistake here that's, I feel like, uncharacteristic for him. I mean, playing...
The cell absorption.
Cell absorption's energy, it isn't
Not
right. It can't
if
be right.
If you're gonna keep it in, you're gonna keep it in, and you're gonna go and play it on.
It's
like,
one of your. It's one of
awaken.
the best cards in the deck,
Yeah,
George.
Yeah.
It's
and the earlier the better.
Yeah, it's literally like kind of how the deck works.
Yeah.
You want
Looks like a tough hand here though, because he has Mass Sand, he has a few Cold Bloodlusts. I'll even charge a Cold Bloodlust before that card because he's got 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, or you can just like right now, if you have these dead cards like these Cold Bloodlust in hand and stuff that you're worried about,
Broly.
you can just like.
He's even got a Rampaging Bio Broly.
Yeah, you can Cold Bloodlust that's Mass Sand. You know, just make it so he can't kill that turn. You know, get a life, try to draw on something a little bit better. You know, like.
So he finally charges the Cold Bloodlust here. You see the inherent problems here with this event-heavy Mecha Frieza deck. As you see his energy full of events.
Don't play the Broly, no.
And there's a Broly, which I don't think is the worst right now, honestly.
That scares me to death, George, because I'm telling you, all Samuel has to do is attack and use Goten.
Yep.
Kill that Broly, which he's already seen that he has in the deck. And I think Garrison might just be out of the game. Completely just out of the game. He has no way to come back now. He can't get some cards out of your hand with the Evolve. He's charged his Cells Absorption. Like, honestly, I think it's possible if this Broly dies.
Because he does have the 5-drop also, right? Or the stage 2, I think.
Yeah, I think he does have the stage 2 in hand, but it's essentially a dead card if it doesn't have an Evolve target, you know?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
you need to evolve for that one specifically. The 6 you can play on 6, which, I mean, you're never looking forward to, but you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. If I'm Samuel, I might have sided out some Sen Gotens, but you're also playing Mass Saiyan, so you don't have to. You could just, you know, if it's not useful to there's a Sen Goten. You see here.
This is bad news for Garrison.
Yep, there it is.
Garrison
he knows that Garrison's gonna get to 4, so he doesn't want to even like risk the probability of Garrison actually just tapping out and evolving into that rampaging Bio Broly. So he's just gonna get rid of it now, nip it in the butt. Like you said, yeah, that's a huge play for sure.
It is, and like I said, it puts Garrison in a situation where I don't know if he can win from here. I mean, depending on what card he just drew from life, also depending on what card he draws from his deck. Not to mention he can awaken, draw 2 more cards. So
the good thing is, that he did awaken off that hit, and he did draw a Android 16, which is actually gonna help him. Like, it's gonna help Samuel not kill it with a Goten because he just used a Goten.
Yeah,
so now it's a little bit harder for Samuel to actually interact with that card at all because he's already gone through 1 Goten. So they're gonna use it eventually, but I totally get where you're coming from. You definitely want to play the Broly and then evolve.
Yeah, I mean,
preferably in the same turn.
Essentially, the way I see Broly, the 5-drop Broly that discards 2, is I feel like you want to play him as a 5 energy play, right? You pay 1 Broly and then you play out the 5-drop. You want to play those in sequence on the same turn to protect it and make sure you get 2 cards in your hand. I mean, honestly, like this matchup has been so uncharacteristic of how this Mecha Frieza hand instruction wants to play. He's literally went a game and like 4 rounds and still has yet to discard a card off of his opponent's hand.
Yeah.
That's like just not how this deck is supposed to run.
Yeah, he's just playing it like a normal mecha deck.
Yeah,
and it just plays a little bit differently, you know? And cell absorption is, one of the key factors, especially early in the game.
Yeah, Garrison, by the way, just a great player. I mean, a fantastic player. I don't know if he's just like in a situation he doesn't expect or what's happening here, but...
Because is cell absorption 2 green?
Yeah, it's 2 green, 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Or, sorry,
so, I mean,
2
like,
green, 4,
honestly, it would have only been... he could have casted it on turn 3 if he maybe charged any type of Broly that he had in his hand, which is... I'm pretty sure he had that Rampaging Bio Broly, because his first charge was what? The cell absorption, right?
Yeah. And here's 3-drop Cell. See what Garrison tries to do here.
Cold Bloodlust. No. Alright.
Alright, now he's going to Cold Bloodlust again. It's like the same kind of mistake he did last turn. See if what Samuel decides to do here. He's going to search. And it looks like he might actually be going for the 5-drop, unless he's just using this opportunity to kind of get a quick glance at his deck.
Yeah, I'd be taking a glance. I mean,
yeah, there's no reason not to.
Not too long, of course, but...
Right. And you're allowed to. You get a minute, right, to look through your deck? So he goes and gets a 3-drop. Puts on top. Alright, guys. Interesting. very very confusing to me that he's not just lusting the 3-drop.
Yeah. Is he attacking here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess he just really wanted that Trunks.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's one thing I've noticed that these players have been doing a lot. They have been, like, I feel like throwing away an advantage just to play out of Trunks.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that happen a lot of these games.
Like, man, I gotta play this Trunks right now, and right now only.
Right, yeah. It's like, I need this Trunks. It has to happen. It's like...
I mean, I get it. They feel like, oh, man, I'm going to get 3 exactly. It's going to be perfect. Now my other overwhelm cards are going to be so much more value.
Right.
I don't want to risk passing the turn and having to combo 2 cards because then I'm going to overwhelm 4 instead of 3 and blah, blah, blah. But it's not that big of a deal.
It's really not. I mean, like, honestly, you get about 2 overwhelm cards a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how perfectly you play it, you usually only get about 2.
I mean, honestly, I'm a bigger fan of the Overrealm, and I do definitely tailor my playstyle to play Overrealm at least 3 or 4 times in a game. But I still don't see eye to eye with these playstyles and this aggressiveness. I mean, why not just pass with the cell? Like I don't get it. Just pass, and then just do it again next turn or something. Like I don't know. Like or if not, a false represented to your opponent, and then your opponent plays all scared. They're like, oh man, he has a cell next turn. But Garrison looks like he's pretty far ahead here. I mean, well, at least in cards. But it's just that Samuel has 8 life, so like that's why he's so down on. That's why he's so down on cards. And this would have been a great, Samuel could have had like 1 to 2 cards in hand if that self-absorption would have resolved.
Here comes Sensu Bean. Goes up to 20K. Looks like Samuel was actually trying to kill the 3-drop blocker there. Again, another interesting choice. I think knocking your opponent to 2 life whenever you have 8 seems pretty reasonable to me.
His hand George is putting in all the work for Garrison right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking down 2 creatures already.
All right, so he's up to 3 green. 3 green, a yellow, and a blue. Let's see what he can get on board this turn.
Triple Dodoria here.
Yeah, triple door, Crusher Ball,
See,
Mass Saiyan.
He's just really out of place here because he didn't keep that Broly. If he kept that Broly, he would have been so good.
I think if I'm Garrison here, like I feel like you can't pass. I know, but you cannot pass. Like I understand that like your hand's pretty bad, but you just can't do it. So I think what I would do is I would just play out 5-drop Broly and pass turn. After that, you have a 5 cost double striker. I know that doesn't seem that good, but at least it sets up your Broly's for next turn. At least
you have the Doria in hand.
Right, yeah.
So
you have plenty of ways to survive.
And
right.
You have a blocker.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least you get something on the board. Like you can't just pass. You can't. Like the way I look at it is every turn you don't use an energy, it's a wasted energy unless you have a way to use it on the defensively. Yeah. If you have too much wasted energy, you'll lose the game. If that makes sense, because your opponent has more efficient energy usage. So, I don't know if that makes sense. But if you kind of like take a tally, like every time someone uses energy, you just like give them a tally. I think at the end of the game, whoever has the most tallies usually wins. Yeah. And so I think it's why Soul Striker is so good right now. It's because he essentially gets 2 extra tallies a turn, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. And so you have to like, as Garrison, you can't just pass 5 energy. Like it is never the right play. You have to play something out.
Even opted to not draw a card with the leader swing, which I understand why. I mean, like, you don't want to awaken your opponent, but they're androids. They're going to awaken at 6, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, here comes Big Broly. Here we go. Gets two good hits there.
Yep.
As it turns out.
I'm sure Samuel would have loved to summon that Mass Saiyan, not enough cards and resources in the yard, and then that Trunks is obviously huge.
Well, yeah, the Trunks is huge, and the Mass Saiyan is actually pretty good too because it's a way to turn the discard into a positive. Yep. You know what I mean? And he got that, so that's pretty good.
Yep.
So Samuel down to 2 cards in hand. Garrison sitting pretty scarily at 4 life here. Samuel here paying 5 to play out a 5-drop. Garrison deciding if he wants to Cobalt Lust. Looks like he's not going to. Yep, looks like he says it's okay. But see, like Samuel, like doing what I'm talking about. Like obviously playing out this 5-drop cell is not ideal, but like you have to do something with your turn, right? You can't just say I'll pass turn. Like
did he forget about the android? He must have forgot about the android because your opponent has like 6 cards in hand. So like you're not gonna out combo him. Do you want to throw away your 5-drop?
I mean, I don't particularly want to throw my 5-drop in normal situations, but I think his hand destruction, it actually makes a lot of sense for a couple of reasons. Number one, it puts you in a situation where like you're probably going to discard that card anyway, because you just have to somewhat expect your opponent to have another discard effect. And so at least now he's just trying to get value out of it. Like he's like, I might be able to kill this 5-drop out of it, this 3-drop blocker out of it.
I don't know. I mean,
right? Because if he keeps it in his hand and doesn't play it out,
no, you summon it. You just summon it.
Right, yeah.
You just summon it and pass.
You summon it and pass.
Yeah, summon it and pass. Yeah. Like because then what's the worst that's gonna happen? Your opponent's probably gonna awaken you, and then you can draw 2 cards, and maybe draw an 18, and then go.
The problem I have with summon pass is that like you open yourself up to just get killed. You know, like he plays kill out and kills it, and then like he gets value out of a kill. At least this way.
A thing. I actually haven't seen a kill.
I think it's in his hand right now. I actually think he has a kill in hand.
Kill, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm about to say I don't think I remember even seeing a kill, which is crazy. But yeah, no, he must be playing kill.
All right, Garrison deciding to actually awaken his opponent here.
Yep.
I don't know. Seems ambitious. I think if I'm Garrison, I don't know if this is the turn I want to awaken my opponent or not. Actually, no, it looks like he does have a Cell's Absorption in hand, so this isn't too bad.
If he has a Cell's Absorption, definitely awaken my opponent.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's kind of hidden back there, but I think that's what it is. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he does.
So you're going to give your opponent 3 cards probably this turn.
And then just rip 2 from
and rip 2 from your hand. Yeah, seems reasonable.
Oh, change the life.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, thank you. Yep. Garrison with Crusher Ball in hand, what appears to be another Bloodlust. Choosing to sell Absorption, just the 1 card. Interesting. Like, in that situation, like I feel like it's probably more efficient to even just attack with your 15-drop blocker, your 15,000 blocker, to put a sec, because like that way you force your opponent will awaken. Draw 2, go to 3, then you sell Absorption down to 1. I mean, sure, your blocker is not a blocker anymore, but like, I don't know. I just feel like in the situation Garrison's in, he has to be extremely efficient with everything he does.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He can't pass turns with 5 energy, and he can't, make him discard 1 card out of his hand. It just doesn't seem. It just can't be correct.
Hell, even swinging with a Broly, I think would have been.
Yeah, Broly's perfect. Yeah. I mean, you're giving your opponent 2 cards off the Broly and then 2 more cards. So you give him 5.
2, so you're
right. So you
essentially like pretty much canceling out the flip.
But you're catching up in life then, right? So then he'll go to like 4.
Yeah.
So it's
and
4
you can
to
actually
4.
kill him because you're not going to kill him by discarding his hand.
Right. And they can't kill Broly because you have a Cold Bloodlust in hand and Crusher Balls and a blocker.
Yeah.
So like
Oh my God.
You hate to see that, George.
Yeah, no.
You hate to see that. Off the top, too.
I just got crushed. Like, if I was the Broly player. Oh,
Crusher Ball, good.
Thank God. That would have been just like game over.
Yeah, that would have basically been game over.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Essentially.
Yep.
Like, all he needed was to summon a combo on top of that, go to 4, and then it just would have been over. What is he doing here? Is he comboing? He's comboing his hand away.
Yeah.
He's like, F it, my hand's going away anyways.
Yeah, is Garrison at 4 or is Garrison at 3? Garrison at 3 life. I think I have this incorrect. I'm sorry. I'm so into this game right now, though, because I love hand destruction. And I'm just like, the thing I like about hand destruction is I feel like hand destruction is like a puzzle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're like, how can I give you cards into your hand and then take them away immediately?
Yeah.
Like, it's like such a puzzle. It's so much thinking and, like, you know. Right now, Garrison does have the ability to play Mass Sand, kill the 5-drop, attacking with Double Strike, and it looks like maybe discard those 2 cards out of his opponent's hand. No, he has a Go. It gets a Gohan. I don't think Garrison has a way to keep his hand thin. Does he care, though? Like, do you care? I think you're past the situation, the point of caring. I think you double strike, knock your opponent to 4, double strike in with Broly, try and knock him to 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I can't agree with that. You have to be swinging with the Mass Hand, and then you have to be playing the kill. Like,
yeah, I mean, at some point you have to you have to
kill your opponent at one point.
Yeah, get away from the hand destruction plan, in certain matchups. And I think this is probably one of them. 5-3 here though, and he's on pass turn again, not attacking with that Broly, getting no value out of that Broly, and does get a card off of Kel. He did get a 1-drop Broly though.
Yes.
So 1-drop Broly is good.
That's gonna be good.
I think it's going to actually allow Garrison to feel more confident. I think next turn we're going to see Garrison being a little bit more confident. Again, decide not to draw a card off Mecha Frieza either, so he's down another card off that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely incorrect. I mean, yeah, I get it. A lot of people just don't want to awaken their opponent. They think that it's correct all the time.
Right.
It's not correct all the time. It's really just, the answer to a lot of these questions is, it depends.
Right.
So you just got to know when that situation is classified under we go out their life,
right,
or we don't go out their life, because you got to win somehow. Your
right.
opponent's not just going to deck out from not doing anything, never draw cards, and like never kill you. Like, no, you have to like just go in, feel confident, feel it out. You're like, okay, I think I have the resources to combat this, and that, etc., etc. But Broly being there for like 4 turns is not gonna that's not gonna help you win the game.
Right, and I honestly think that's where we see the difference between like the pro players,
yes,
and the good players.
Yes.
Is they know when to ditch their plan in order to make sure they win the game, right?
Yes.
And you call it play to their outs, right? You look and you
Exactly.
say, what do I need to do to win the game? This is what I need for it to happen, and you try to make that happen. Sometimes you fail, but you give yourself a chance to win. And I think Garrison's put himself in a situation where his opponent hasn't really had a hand for like 3 turns, but he's not putting enough pressure on his opponent, so he's essentially just giving his opponent
Life.
Right, more chances to do something.
And Garrison's not in the best spot either. It's not like he's sitting pretty at like 7 life and
Right.
by 2 life.
Yeah,
he's behind
right.
2 life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean.
Like, androids could just kill you.
Easily.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Easily.
As soon as he knocks him to 4 life, every one of his androids are just like the most terrifying things you can think of.
And then he gets another 2 cards in hand and all that stuff, and now, he's probably gonna choose an improper time to strike, and then he's gonna give his opponent too many cards in hand, and then like from there, Samuel could just like snowball that into his comeback plan, which might just be devastating, of course. Kale, did it draw Garrison a card? I believe so. Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so 4-3.
So good. He's attacking with the Mecha Frieza. That's awesome. That's definitely what you want to be doing here. Your opponent's already awakened. The only thing that you're doing is, well, you already turned on their trunks by
Discard 2.
all right, now we're getting somewhere.
Sam was like,
And
you know what?
it was
I'm
like,
tired of this.
I'm done.
I'm
tired of not dying.
I'm tired of discarding these cards.
Maybe this was Garrison's plan all along. Just annoy your opponent so much to the point where they just got to scoop it up, and that's it. It's over.
Absolutely. I mean, again, Garrison did a good job with the hand destruction plan.
Yes, yeah.
But again, guys, when you're playing hand destruction, you have to understand when it's time to get off of it.
Yeah.
Stop just being afraid to give your opponent cards. Garrison obviously, won that game. Terrific. But Garrison, I think, could have won that game 3 turns earlier.
Yes. No.
If he was just a little bit more aggressive, right?
And then now he gives himself only 10 minutes going into this third game. And it just puts him at a disadvantage because in the short game, you're going to have the androids favored way over Mecha Frieza.
Oh, absolutely.
Mecha Frieza is a deck that has to like constrict you and like put you in this position and like everything has to, be methodically calculated. And that takes time. And Garrison obviously feeling out a lot of parts of these strategies as he goes along.
Right.
So obviously knows what his cards do, but he needs to find out the perfect opportunity of when to strike, and that's not easy. Like
it's
you
not
said,
easy at all, right?
It makes the great players. It separates them from the good players from the great players, and it just it all comes along with playtesting and hearing commentary on videos like this. We don't want to be too tough on obviously opponents, but chat equals annoyed.
Yeah, guys. I mean, again, this matchup, pretty good. For I think,
Sure.
I feel like this is like a 50-50 matchup. I think the big problem here, though, is that like George said and brought attention to, which is very smart, is that as far as time goes, it is heavily favored towards androids. Right? I don't know if Garrison can win this match in the time that he has. It's like 8 minutes, plus I think they get like a 6-minute time extension, so a little like about 15 minutes or so. I don't know if you can win it in 15 minutes unless the android just has like a terrible hand.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Frieza can really come out of the gate strong. I mean, they could go, I don't even know if he's playing Monaka, probably not, but he can go Monaka, Objection, and then like follow it up with Cells Absorption the next turn, and then like another Cells Absorption. I mean, like, this is insane. Like, there's some insane hands that Mecha Frieza can just be like, I don't really have to think too much here. We're just like rolling it along here. We're just playing all our event cards, and then flipping, drawing into hopefully not more event cards, and then from there, that's where you can get a really easy victory. That's where you can just snowball into like, a 10-minute victory or something like that. But
yeah, I think looking at Garrison's hand here, I think if I'm Garrison, I'm playing for the draw this game.
Yep, you might have to. It's too slow.
Yeah, he has like a Crusher Ball, like he has no Cells Absorption, like he has really no way.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, 1-drop to 1-drop, not bad.
It's the best thing that he can get off that, honestly.
Yeah.
You don't want to see 5-drop or 6-drop or anything like that.
Yeah, look at his hand. It's so defensive.
Extremely defensive.
Yeah, not what you want to see when you're trying to win the game in 15 minutes or so as a hand destruction player. So I think he's just going to have to play for the draw. Nothing against that. I mean, that's not bad.
Sometimes you're just in that position where you just got to be like, okay, I'm in defense mode. Turtle up inside of your shell and just enjoy the ride.
Hope a plumber doesn't jump on top of you, kick you into a brick wall.
That sounds painful.
It does. Sounds pretty bad. 10,000.
Oh, man.
There's TN.
That's going to accelerate Samuel's game plan by approximately infinity percent.
I expect Garrison to Cold Bloodlust this, right? Like when it comes into play, off the combo, you Cold Bloodlust it.
100% because there is a Sun Goten in Garrison's hand.
Right, yeah, then he can Sun Goten.
And you can definitely... Why you're doing that. Wait. Didn't you just play the Crusher Ball? Or did he not play the Crusher Ball?
He played Cold Bloodlust.
Oh, he played Cold Bloodlust.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Taking a life for it.
Okay, I thought he played Crusher Ball. I was like, what?
If he played Crusher Ball, we would just be like, all right, guys, see you next round.
We're going on a break forever. I was so confused there for a moment.
Garrison has an interesting choice of cards in hand here. Almost all of his cards are extremely good defensively to fit his plan. I'm going to choose that Sensu Bean again. Go one, play another Broly.
I think he might have actually...
What is it?
How is Samuel at 6 life? That's 6 life, right? I don't think he called Bloodlust.
Did he just do nothing?
I'm gonna go over there and check.
Yeah, check that out for me. Yeah. Hey guys, we'll adjust the life here.
Yes, he's got 6 life.
Okay.
He did not cold bloodlust. He did not cold bloodlust. He let Tien resolve, I believe.
So it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the second Broly, and the one Broly went away. And
that makes sense.
The Android player's at 6. Yep.
Guys, round 6.
So what?
Fatigue starting to set in.
Fatigue,
is
boys.
caster fatigue, boys.
Thank you guys for staying tuned. I really appreciate
We
it.
love it.
You know, 212 players. That's pretty good. I think that's peaking around the highest we've gotten all day. So
actually,
as
thank
we
you
get
so
into
much.
the higher rounds, really appreciate you guys. We're trying to put the most interesting builds on here. So
yeah, I think after this, though, we're going to start shooting for some some top tier games.
well, we'll try to get some kitchen tables, some PPG up here.
I would love to find a PPG versus KitchenTableMeta.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
That would be super fun.
If you guys want to see that, I mean, sometimes we try to avoid it because we don't want to seem like,
Right,
oh, we're running
yeah,
the show,
exactly.
only our guys.
Yeah, only our guys get on camera. Yeah,
Like,
right, absolutely.
Screw everyone else. No. We want you guys to see, interesting decks, interesting ideas, and interesting players.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yeah.
it's definitely something that we want to keep interesting.
Yeah, I
because
mean, yeah.
I feel like the game is too interesting for you to just keep it the same, like
Absolutely.
Goku versus Goku, Frieza versus Frieza. Like we've seen all this,
Right. And also another thing too, guys, is a lot of these players don't get it. I mean, like PPG, KitchenTableMeta players, they get a chance to be on stream every regional.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? But some of these players, this like Garrison, this is his first ever regional. You know what I mean? So it's cool that he gets to come in here, put in the work and get to be on camera.
And this
That's
is
super-
all just a learning lesson. This
Right.
is fantastic for these players because they can go back
And watch
look at the
it, yeah.
footage, learn from it, and this is just how you get better. Like nobody gets better by not making mistakes. Like I make mistakes, you make mistakes, we all make
Absolutely,
mistakes.
yeah.
We're humans.
If anybody's watched me play the game, they know I make mistakes. But no, I mean honestly, I've had a lot of players. I know you have too on the event you just did this weekend, where people will say, "Dude, thank you guys so much for doing this."
Yeah.
I watched this match. I saw a bunch of stuff I did wrong. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like absolutely.
It's just a learning lesson, and it's great to have it back. Gonna be back on YouTube, so you guys can like watch through this. If you are interested in playing like one of these decks, you know what not to do, you know what to do, and we try to give like the most insightful commentary on these things, just so that anybody who's interested or wants to know how to play these decks, or wants to just know what not to do or what to do,
Right.
They recognize it, and that's the job of us as commentators. And I really hope that we're doing a good job at that.
Yeah, and it also helps new players trying to get into the game. Like I don't know what deck I want to play. Let me go watch this matchup with androids versus hand destruction. Let me go watch this Goku Black deck. Let me go watch. You know what I mean? That way they can see him be played and say,
Like, that's a really good idea.
That fits my play style. I want to
let
try
me
that out.
I'm gonna change a few things, and
Right.
I'm gonna not do these things
Right.
or do these things, and next thing you know, top 32 at a regional. You
Yeah.
never know.
There you go. It's happened. Right. Garrison doing a good job, pressure balling the Chilling Terror and then attacking and killing it on his turn. Gives him the ability to awaken here and draw 2 cards. Gonna play out Android 16, attacking 15,000 into 5,000. Remember, guys, if Android 16 kills a card, gets to get readied.
Yep, ready back up for battle once again, and
Has that topo effect.
takes down another card.
Yeah.
It's just how
It's-
many. Garrison must be in love with this card now. Fanny hype. Yeah, they're asking for it. We should put Danny on there.
Yeah, we could. We'll see.
Danny's doing
We'll
great,
see.
too. And he's playing hand destruction.
If he won, we'll put him on there.
Okay.
I don't want to reward him for losing, right?
That's true. Well, I mean, he's still fine. I mean, I'm sure he could be playing another great player at X1.
He is. I can't remember who's playing on top. He's on top table again. I can't remember who he's playing, but
hopefully not another PBG guy.
It was a bearded player.
Oh, okay.
Is who was playing.
George or
It must have been. I think it was George.
probably George. Glasses.
I mean, I didn't get a chance to see the player. I just saw that
okay.
he had a bearded jack. Switch
Attention Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball Super players. You are in time. Both Yu-Gi-Oh! and
All right, see what happens here.
Super players are both in time. Please proceed to in-match procedures. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and ask a judge.
Oh, that's right. They don't get an extension because they started right on time.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, that's right.
because
You
they
started
delayed-
way before
Yeah,
me. What the hell,
well,
Dusty?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get here and Dusty's already commentating. Like, they're already halfway through round 1. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I forgot
game
because
1?
they delayed the round a little bit, and then they were like, "Okay, you guys can go." So it was perfect. Yeah.
No, I was outside. I didn't even know.
Let's see what happens here.
I was about to say, I can't expect them to attack with that Mighty Mask. I mean, I don't know. That Android has taken down a bunch of questionable opponents.
I don't know what you do with Samuel. This feels like it's going to be a draw. I'm trying to think of a way that any of these players can win, and I just. Which I think either of these players. I think these players are fine with the draw. You go to 4-1-1. That's a very good record.
That's still fine.
Yeah, that's a very good record. So like.
You can top is like X2-1 a lot of the times with
Yeah.
these top 32.
Right.
When you get to top 32, when you get over like 300 something players, that's a perfectly fine record to get in there.
Yeah, we
You
are
don't
doing
even
top
slide there
32,
too
right,
close.
yeah.
Yeah. Top 32 is very, very rewarding. And it's just a lot of matches of Dragon Ball, and it really rewards those who can like go through the perseverance and stick through it. So.
Yeah, I think I got 18th place at Richmond at 6-1-2.
Yeah.
Right. So like, yeah, these guys can easily, get up there with a couple draws. So.
No, yeah. 2 draws max. Even a loss in a draw might get them in there. That's a little bit more like teetering on like tiebreakers and
Sure.
how many other people end up how they end up doing. But I think guaranteed if they just get like one more tie, if they just get like this draw right now, then they're fine for the rest of the day. They just got to win out, or might be able to get away with another loss. And I think one more draw after this one would be fine too.
You're in time. End of match procedure has already begun. Make sure to mark
Garrett's going to take this go to 3. Ambitious, George. This is how you might lose the match.
Yep.
Taking this unnecessary damage when you're going into time. Has cell absorption in hand. Not the best play right now.
Not the best. Samuel does have 7 cards in hand.
I think I actually might just charge cell absorption here.
Yep, I would definitely charge.
Yeah, and
snap charge.
Yeah, because you're not going to win the game.
There you go.
He can hear us.
Nice.
Yeah. Again, I think you just want to play as defensive as possible. I might even just pass here.
You can. No, you're at 3. Yeah,
Because-
you're at 3. Like
Because if you play Boo that's in your hands, then like you turn off Sensu Bean, which I think is actually really important in
Yeah.
surviving.
that's the only problem with these decks that like are fine at 1 blue energy.
Right.
If you're playing Boo as well, you're just not getting the efficiency out of
Right.
Blue because you're just like tapping out all the time. It's just you don't want to tap out of Blue. Like yeah, sure you can, and then like your opponent can attack, and then you can like play Whisk Coercion from the life, and then ready up Blue, and then use it for Sensu Bean. But like you can't be doing that at 3 life.
See what happens here. And Garrison just
He's gonna jam all his
he has
Brolys out there.
he has a flock of Brolys right now. think he's going to leave 2 energy open here in the pass. Probably going to attack with Mecha here. Just get an extra card in his hand. I don't know. What do you think? Do you attack with Mecha? Get an extra card in your hand? Or
Definitely. I mean, that puts the androids in a dangerous position where they're obviously all buffed. But you got to do it. I mean, how much time do they have left in the round?
Yeah, he's just passing. I actually like that play. I actually like the pass.
Because you might lose. Yeah, I mean, like, that's right. Garrison is not... I forgot Garrison's game plan here, and it's not winning.
Right.
It's just drawing.
Yeah.
So if you're just drawing, you're passing.
Because Samuel could go, like, twin.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean?
And then it's just deadly because now they're 20 strike...
They're 20,000, right.
Yeah, 20,000s that are resetting each other, and your trunks are active.
Oh, true. Yeah,
if your trunks are not active, Samuel's effectively losing 2-3 cards.
Right.
Depending on how many he has in hand, which it looks like might be 4, actually.
Oh, he actually does.
He does have 4.
That's actually kind of funny.
So that's 4 cards dead in his hand.
Yeah, the hand destruction hand actually discarded more cards out of his hand by not attacking.
Yeah,
It's actually kind of funny if you think about it that way.
I'm literally charging you $5.
Okay, here comes Top
Ooh,
Champa.
Champa.
Double strike.
Okay, what Samuel really needs here though is Kaba.
Gosh, could you imagine if you got Kaba?
Yeah.
He actually might be able to win if he gets a Kaba, honestly. I don't think he has a way to dig for it, though.
Looks like he's dumping a good amount of resources into just a double strike, which, I mean, I don't know.
Again,
you might have to take it here.
Samuel's like, the game's over the next turn, right?
Yeah.
And so I think Samuel's just like trying to get a win here. You know what I mean? Just see if he can.
Wait, are they in time? They're not in time, right? Because they have a...
They are in time.
Oh, yeah, they are
in time.
Because
they actually start... Because, like, the round was delayed all around. So they actually started right on time.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. I actually forgot about that, too.
There goes all the Brolys for Garrison. That's
And here it comes, double striker.
pretty tough. Did he just not attack?
Well, I think the reason why I didn't attack is Garrison is at with Sensu Bean.
Okay.
Garrison's at 20. Maybe
Pretty sure he still
he
strike
just
there.
didn't want. I just don't think he wanted to give him 2 more cards.
Okay.
Because he knows he can't win that turn, so he's just like, if I give him 2 more cards, like he might have the 2 cards to kill me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe.
Okay.
Which,
I mean, it's very
at 5
unlikely
life
because they
it's
were at
extremely
5, and
unlikely.
then once you get to below 4, then you have 4 trunks, and from there you're just like fine.
Yeah.
So
So maybe a misstep. Maybe you should have tried it. But I think maybe he just realized, like, even if I do hit him with this, I don't have anything else to play to actually kill him. So I mean, he maybe could have played a trunks out.
yeah, probably. I mean, I think they were both also okay.
Like you
with
could
the
just
draw
pay.
there.
Yeah. Oh, I think so too. But I'm saying you could have played out the 2 cost trunks and attacked and just like
Like the 10K?
comboed into it, like your 10K combo card, and just try to get another damage
He
in.
could have tried.
Yeah,
He
like,
could've tried.
I mean-
that's definitely not out of the way. I mean, like at that point you just got to try.
Yeah,
Like your opponent's at what? 2 he was at 2 life. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
sensu beamed himself. So,
Well, that's
you
true.
just
That's
gotta,
true.
like,
He's
try. You just gotta,
at
like,
20K.
you just
So actually,
gotta, like, try.
maybe it's impossible up with his hand. So
I mean, like
win.
if you don't lose on the crackback because you're at 5.
right, you definitely.
Like
Yeah,
there's no way ever that you lose there. So I think I would have just like tried anyways, just to just try because that's
Right.
your last turn. That's your last turn, and if you win there, you win the match, and if you don't, whatever, you tie. So you succeed, you win. If you don't, you tie. So I'm definitely gonna try to succeed there.
right.
So.
Spider-Verse, at KitchenTableMeta, records of Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
Last time I heard it was X1.
X1. Okay.
Last time I heard. I haven't
Scotch.
seen him for.
I think Scotch is X2.
X2,
Yeah.
yeah, he was pretty tilty. I was like, look, you just got to think about one game at a time. Sometimes, like when you get that
Yeah.
loss and you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that. It really gets to you, especially when it's a
does.
game that you could have won easily.
I told Scotch the same thing at Toledo. He had like 2 kind of bad losses, and he got under his own skin. You know, he was
Yeah.
super bummed about it. It's like, you know, like you said, emotional. I was like, man, you just have to calm down. Like, take it one game at a time. You know what I
One
mean?
game at a
Like,
time.
you
Yeah,
can
that's
still
what I
get
was
there.
saying. I'm like, he's
Right.
like, yeah, man, I gotta go 4-0. I'm like, no, you don't. You gotta go 1-0.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Just
you got to go
focus on
1-0
your next
4
opponent.
times.
Because
Right.
that's all that's available, you know, right now. Like that's the only thing that you have control of. You have no control of any match after that. You know, just do your job that match, and then from there you just got to like worry about anything else that goes on, you know, along from there.
Trey, I believe Trey's X1 as well. Trey, I think he only lost one game, which was against the Beerus player, actually.
Oh yeah, he
which
lost
is,
against the Beerus player.
which is awesome.
It's crazy.
Makes me super happy.
He double weased him. He
Yeah,
had a Whis,
double
and then
Whis,
like
yeah.
drew Whis off the top, and it was just like,
Weiss. Get there. Love it. All right, guys.
so
Well, I think that's going to be
insane.
it for us because, again, it came right to time. So we're going to get out of here, get things set up for round 7.
so excited.
Excited. Excited.
Two
Round
more
7.
rounds. We're gonna try to scope out some nice KTM.
Yeah, we'll try to get you.
PVG,
We'll try to get you guys a
bearded
like,
guys.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah, we'll see what we can find, guys. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We love you guys very much. You guys are amazing. We'll see you guys very shortly with round number 7. What one? Do you mean? That's a very ambiguous question. I don't know.
Oh, they just drew. Yeah, they drew.
Oh, they drew. They drew. Yeah, absolutely. But you won. My heart is what happened. So, all right, guys, we'll see you very shortly.